Well, good morning, friends. I am here at the beach this morning once again, watching the sunrise, watching the dogs play. They've got some puppies out here with balls this morning, having a time of their lives. These dogs are just running the beach and loving it. Anyway, I wanted to take a minute this morning as I got out of my car this morning. I had a book on the side, and I was thinking about Corinthians 3, where it talks about we are living epistles, seen and read of all men. Seen and read, because while I was sitting there in my car before I got out, I watched the ladies who brought 3 dogs to the beach as the dogs began to do their business on the beach. And it looked like they were just going to leave it there. So they were seen. And I was like, what? Are they really just going to leave that there? People walk here all day long, particularly this beach because it's flat, back and forth in the same area the dogs are running. And I just have an issue with that. So I was like, oh man, they think no one's seen them. I almost want to go tell them, hey guys, get a bag, or give them a bag to clean up their stuff. Anyway, it just reminded me while I was sitting there, that first of all, that the Lord sees everything. And so when we know to do what's right and we don't do it, and when we're not being responsible as citizens, as part of a family, as part of a community, we all have a conscience. We all have an inner gauge that helps to guide us in the things that are right, individually and in community. That's why it says endeavor to keep the unity of the faith in the bond of peace, right? Endeavor to keep it because we want to live well with others. We want to live well and for the good of the bigger picture. And in union and in communion and in harmony with the bigger picture. And not and so I've been talking about this, having conversations about this, and this morning I just think it's kind of funny because I get here and I was like ready to address my neighbor. And then that Lord, well, would loving my neighbor be just going down there and cleaning it up for themselves? Because there's a time we may do that when people don't have the ability to do for themselves the things that are needful, but they're very able. Sometimes people need to be educated. Sometimes people need to be reminded. Sometimes people know and they're just doing it anyway and they don't care and it's lazy or slothful. And we certainly don't want to enable that. So just using that little parable this morning for today's lesson. And then the other part was an open book. There's that term, oh, my life's an open book. And I was just thinking about how the Lord, first of all, everything, He wants us to live transparently. And that because of His love, that He commended His love toward us. He didn't ask us to have it all together. He didn't tell us to get it together before He loved us. He loved us wholly and completely with all of our stuff. And He encourages us to do the same, to love unconditionally. The other thing is that He didn't rip pages out of our book that He was ashamed of. On the contrary, it's a redemptive story that shows the beauty of love and the power of love to transform a life. And once we're transformed, it removes, the pages are there, and the pages are there that tell the difficulties and the struggles and the emptiness or the confusion or the doubt or the character flaws. Those are all things that make the transformation's completion even more glorious and the change that much more evident. So I believe that the Lord uses even our backstories, and I believe that everything that's a part of our backstory has brought us to where we are today, and it's a part of our story moving forward. And we can, in that way, celebrate because we know that God's in control of all things at all times. He's the author and the finisher of our faith. He's doing a good work. And when He sees us with no flaw. When He sees us as He created us to be in all of His glory and in perfection. And though we may be imperfect, he sees us perfectly, loves us perfectly. And that's a really high call and a high standard, but that's what we want to do. We want to see the best in others. We want to call out the best in others, and we want to live out the best in ourselves. So with that in mind this morning, I hope that you enjoyed a little jaunt on the beach with the puppies. And I hope that you'll have a great and glorious, love-filled and victorious day, my friends. And remember that you are a living epistle that is being seen and read by men. Live as an open book and live as a story that shares his glory. Have a good one. Bye.